It's carcasting time! You're listening to Fix My Carcast with Bear Claw Billy, and I am walking at a clip because, once again, people are not really respecting the crosswalks. Today is, I don't even know. Wow, I should check before I start. Today is, I want to say, May. Sunday was 8, Monday was 9, Tuesday was 10. So this is 11. You know what's a way better way to figure that out? It's just one off from the episode number. This is episode 12 of Fix My Carcast, the only podcast that is recorded by Bear Claw Billy as they walk to or from work to raise money to fix their car. It's going to be about 3,000 buckaroos. Go to the link. My God. Sorry. Everyone is blocking the sidewalk with their cars. Go to the link, throw some money at me, and you can decide what I talk about on this podcast. You can also become a patron, a patringle dingle. So if you get your Expecto Patron, then you can also suggest topics for me to talk about right here on the podcast. And we got one today, and it is a topic that I will be talking about. Today's topic request comes in from Matt or Matthew. I don't know which one he went by when he donated. I call him Matt, but the topic comes from him, even though he donated a while ago and has been a patron for a bit. So if you give me money, remember to get your topics in, because I'll bug you about it. Because I want some challenges, people. And actually, I'll talk about that first. I know, you're just champing at the bit. I'm teasing you. I'm nibbling and biting and sucking in all the right places, but I ain't giving you the payoff yet. Anyway, comedian and musician Keith Hebert will be coming up later on the program. But before we get to that, I have a poll up right now. That's a weird sentence out of context. I have a poll up right now on my Twitter. It's only good for a couple of days, with 4 topics that I would like to do for Fix My Carcast, because nobody's paying to give me topics. So anyway, get on there, vote for the one you'd most like to hear. Right now we've got a trans reading of the film The Batman, an improvised Blade Runner movie, a musical episode, or total silence. I will not say a single word on my walk to or from work. So, silent episode, musical episode, cyber episode, or trans episode. Your call. You can make me do any of those things by paying me, but also vote in the poll, and then I'll know which one you want the most. All right, so I am probably a good quarter of the way home, and I haven't gotten to the topic yet. What a dink. Today's topic comes from Matt, and today I will be talking all about a certain stretchy superhero. That's right, Stretch Armstrong. The request specifically came in as simply Stretch Armstrong and Vac Man. Okay, so I'm gonna level with you. I don't think this is an all-the-way Homer topic. What do I mean by that? Well, I'm coining it right now. An all-the-way Homer topic is one that I think I can talk about all the way home. The full 20 to 25 minutes of my commute. I don't think this is an all-the-way Homer. Because I'll tell you right now, I never had a Stretch Armstrong. I never had a Vac Man. I have zero personal connection to those things whatsoever. But I do remember them. So I'm going to do my damnedest to tell you absolutely everything in the old skull tank that I have about Stretch Armstrong and Vac Man. I haven't put the phone in my pocket yet. I'm always worried if I'm going to hit stop. I'm about to put it in my pocket. If the recording does in fact stop, I will put some music in this episode for you to enjoy. Again, I am so paranoid about this. Here we go in the pocket. 1, 2, 3. Hey up. All right. I have my clip-on mic, which I hope has been cutting down on wind and car noise, but probably not. I don't get the science of audio, even though I make music. I'm just kicking it from my hip. Stretch Armstrong, Vac Man, what's their deal? Okay. This is coming from me. I deliberately did not Google or Wikipedia anything about this before I started talking. Stretch Armstrong. He is a blonde wrestler-looking type. He was a toy that basically just had stretchy arms and stretchy legs. There you go. That's it. And you pulled on him, and he went, and he had really long, stretchy limbs. I don't think I was friends with anyone that had this toy, and I did not have this toy myself. I remember seeing commercials for it. I remember later in life people being fascinated by what is inside of them. I believe it is some sort of gel, some kind of gel, some sort of kind of gel. From what I hear, and by from what I hear, I mean, I think I saw VH1's I Love the 90s. Or he could have been 80s. I don't know. Anyway, Hal Sparks probably was saying some bullshit about everybody had one for a week and then cut it open with scissors to see what kind of gel is in there. That's right. I'm so starved for something to talk about regarding Stretch Armstrong. I'm just doing old I Love the 90s bits. Are we nostalgic for I Love the yet? Is Best Week ever still on? What is a television? So Stretch Armstrong. I do remember being excited by the commercials. Indeed, I think he was the first ever stretchy superhero that I had ever encountered. I think, getting the order right here, let's see. Okay, so now in my head I'm like, okay, categorize all the stretchy superheroes you know. I believe the order I discovered stretchy superheroes, apologies if I'm leaving anybody out. Stretch Armstrong was the OG. Mr. Fantastic was number 2. I believe I discovered Plastic Man next. Then, on a technicality, in that when talking about Plastic Man, somebody was like, don't forget Elongated Man, but that's everything I know about him. I think maybe he has a bad marriage. So Elongated Man next. Then, I want to say Elastigirl. Oh, this is interesting. Hold on, let me backtrack. Okay, so Elastigirl from The Incredibles and Elastigirl from the Doom Patrol comic, the OG comic. All right, let me go back. I'm actually surprised I found something to talk about. Okay. Stretchy superheroes in the order that I met them, which is different from the order that I enjoy them. Okay. Yeah, so we got to get Elastigirl back in there. So, let me see here. Stretch Armstrong. Mr. Fantastic. Oh. No, I saw Incredibles first. No. Wait a minute, which came out first? Tim Story's Fantastic Four or Brad Bird's Incredibles? I saw both in college. I could not tell you which one came out first. This is where we're at. Trying to figure out if Fantastic Four or The Incredibles came out first. You know what? On a technicality, my dad used to tell me stories from Fantastic Four comics when I was a kid, but I don't think they even registered as Fantastic Four until one day I was reading a Fantastic Four comic and I was like, Willie Lumpkin, my dad used to talk about him. So just for the purposes of this list, which no one asked for, I'm gonna put Reed up top because I think my dad introduced me to them as a concept. And then I proceeded to forget about them until the Tim Story movie. Okay. Stretch Armstrong. Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic. Elastigirl Parr of The Incredibles. Plastic Man. Rita Farr, Elastigirl. One is Farr and one is Parr. Man, that's wild. Rita Farr from the Doom Patrol. The OG comics, so there is a series now, and it's quite good. I haven't actually read Grant Morrison's run, but I picked it up Just got to crack the spine, but I'm in the middle of like so many books. You want to hear all the books I'm in the middle of? What were we talking about? Stretch Armstrong? Okay. So, that's my history with stretchy heroes. I think Elongated Man is last. Flat Man technically doesn't stretch, but he does contort his body. Was one of the seven brothers from that old myth stretchy? I think maybe he was. I can't remember. I suppose that goes in there somewhere around Stretch Armstrong and Reed Richards. Hey buddy, hi! So anyway, I remember seeing the commercials for Stretch Armstrong, and they filmed like live action stuff for them. Like, I distinctly remember, like, robbers are getting away. Stretch Armstrong is on the case. And some big beefcake guy just went, "Arree," and stretched out and got him. And now, I'm wondering if there was a TV show. If there was, I feel like there was an animated TV show. But I don't think a live action one. But from that commercial alone, I definitely wanted to watch a Stretch Armstrong show. I probably would have wanted the toy, but again, poor kids. I think the only toy that I ever actually wanted, we found discarded on the side of the highway. It was a DeLorean from Back to the Future, the animated series, that had been included in a Happy Meal. And I found it on the side of the road, and I just knew it was a sign that I should have this happiness. The wheels were broken, and it was supposed to spark, but it didn't. Anyway, that was my happy childhood. But no, go on about how Nintendo is ruining yours. So anyway, yeah, I did not have the toy. Most toys I wanted as a kid, I did not get. A lot of toys were hand-me-downs, yard sales, things like that. You know, I did the best I could with whatever I got. I got really into Legos, but back in the day you couldn't like order them online, so you just had to get whatever the Walmart had, and you got one per year. Welcome to Fix My Carcast, where every topic skews into my unhappy childhood. It really wasn't that unhappy. We were aware we were poor. Okay, Stretch Armstrong. You know what? Here comes the old switcheroo as I'm halfway home. Despite the fact that I do love a good stretchy superhero, I think both Elastigirls and Plastic Man and Reed Richards are just the tops. Really don't know that much about Elongated Man. There's probably a few other stretchers. But to be honest, even though I love my stretchy-limbed heroes, I was more into Vac Man. Now, maybe you've heard of Stretch Armstrong. I do not know if you've heard of Vac Man. So Vac Man, and I'm going to go out on a limb and assume, because they're stretchy limb super. Oh man, this is the greatest podcast that you've ever heard, and no one is listening to it. Send a link to this right now to every one of your friends. Like, subscribe, and share. Tell the world that just some searing white hot comedy is coming off of this golden tongue as it wags out of the mouth of someone who's very tired of walking to or from work. Oh my goodness. All right. What the fuck were we talking about? Pac-Man fever? Yeah, so anyway, I think the villain of Stretch Armstrong was Vac Man. And Vac Man was way cooler because here's the deal. When his limbs stretched out, are you sitting down? They stayed that way. That's right. That's a truck. There was some mechanism, I'm going to guess it used vacuums, that if you stretched out Vac Man's limbs, they stayed stretched out. And to me, this was a game changer. Because here's the thing. Wait, no. Here's Mr. Fantastic. No, wait. Here's Stretch Armstrong. The comedy keeps coming. Can you believe how talented I am? You gotta give me at least 50% as talented as comedian and musician Keith Hebert, who you really ought to be telling about this show so he can show up on time to be a guest. Okay. I hate everything. That's not true. I hate 3 things. Keep listening to find out what they are. I hate this walk. Shit, that's one of them. Oh! All right. Stretch Armstrong and Vac Man. Vac Man stayed stretched out until you pressed a button on his chest and then he sucked right back together. And I'm sorry, but that's way cooler. Like, it's kind of annoying to have to hold Stretch Armstrong's limbs stretched out the whole time. I feel like Stretch Armstrong made sense as a stress toy, and Vac Man made sense as an actual goddamn toy. Because if you're playing stretchy guy, you want those limbs to stay stretched out. Like, what good are they if they just go kasproing and then come right back? God, that would make for some really bad Fantastic Four comics. Reed, grab that thing over there. The bling. I didn't get it on the first try. Let me try again. Like, that would be the worst. So that's why Vac Man is the superior toy to Stretch Armstrong. I say, having never owned one of either. I vaguely recall a friend having one or the other. And maybe I got to hold it. But like, so briefly. So briefly. Now here's the thing. I don't know. Now here's Reed Richards. Now here's Stretch Armstrong. That's called a callback. Put it on a t-shirt. Hey, buy some of my t-shirts. I got a request to make a t-shirt from the last episode where my brain broke and I tried to make a, deep platitude about grass, no parking, do not enter. So look for that t-shirt, which I think I was going to save to talk about until I'd actually made the thing. So I haven't made the thing. It's clobbering time. Here's Reed Richards. So Vac Man stayed vacked. His limbs stayed stretched out. I feel like that makes him the better toy, and that also makes him basically the stronger character. Like, so Stretch Armstrong can like land a punch, but Vac Man can just stretch his arm out and there it is forever. And now he's smacking you forever. Like, they gave Stretch Armstrong's nemesis the same power but better. What were they writing, an MCU movie? Oh! Slam MCU! When will you make one decent film? Oh my gosh, I can't breathe. Which is usually what people say after discussing the MCU for too long. Boom! Slam on MCU fans! Which I am one. Boom! Self-slam! Listen to me slam myself. Yeah. There's a lot of grunting and panting involved in slamming myself. Oh boy. Anyway. I don't know how well the button on Vac Man's chest worked. For all I know, it was a piece of garbage that broke after 5 uses. But nevertheless, conceptually, Vac Man reigns supreme. If you would like to donate a Stretch Armstrong, don't bother! If you would like to donate a Vac Man, I really would like a Vac Man. I'm assuming that both of these toys are discontinued. The nostalgia for them has died down. Until today, when the boldest, bravest, most rotund podcast host of all time suddenly made them surge in popularity. In 3 years from now, when people discover this podcast, because right now, there's about 10 of you listening to it every day. And to that I say, why? Why? Why are you listening to this? What are you on about? What's your end game? What's your Infinity War? What is happening? I'm almost home. Traffic's loud. Someone has a Three Stooges bumper sticker on their Hummer? God, that is just weird. No, that makes sense. Boomers love the Three Stooges. Stretch Armstrong podcast. Anyway, Stretch Armstrong, Vac Man, They seem pretty neat. I think if I had one, I would have loved it. I was more of a Lego kid. Yeah, when I think back on the toys I had, they were either action figures for things that only both me and my dad liked, so Star Trek and Lost in Space, including the Lost in Space movie from the 90s. Yeah, I had the action figure of Matt LeBlanc with that sweet helmet. Yeah, I had that. It came with some little spiders, which I, as a nerdy kid, was always upset that the space spiders in that movie had 6 legs, which would make them insects. But probably more accurately, a whole new classification of animal. If you look at the way their legs are segmented, it's like nothing on Earth. And you know, I like that kind of alien design, where you just take some animals and you smush them together. Why, that reminds me of a certain film about blue people. Yes. Anyway, that's a teaser for tomorrow's topic. Oh my goodness. I'm almost home. I'm in the final Armstrong. How do they do it, folks? How do they do it? What's her secret? Maybe she's born with it. No, that'd be too easy. She's got to raise money to get surgery to have it. Anyway, which is coming eventually. If you thought you were annoyed with all the stunts I pulled to pay my rent or fix my car, wait till you see the ones I pull to get some hormones and some surgery. I guess that's another teaser. Oh my goodness. I'm so close to home. Almost there. Oh. What else can I say about Stretch Armstrong and Vac-Man? So, I will say this. Vac-Man's name kind of made him sound more like he had vacuum powers. Like he could suck things up. I feel like they needed a better name for him. But Stretch Armstrong was already taken. So they were just locked into that. Because I gotta say, name-wise, Stretch comes out ahead. That's just... You hear that name and it's just really catchy. But I am so close to being home, and then this nightmare can end. Yeah. I just thought of something else. Stretch Armstrong, I believe, was blonde and dressed like a wrestler. So at one point, I think I thought that he and Hulk Hogan were the same person. Like they were part of the same thing. You know, kid logic. Two things look kind of the same and suddenly they're inextricably linked. They can't be instricificated. So yeah, I was not into wrestling as a kid. I'm slowly getting into it now. It's pretty neat. Yeah, I'll put that on a t-shirt. Wrestling. It's pretty neat. Bear Claw Billy. Yeah, I think I've exhausted everything I can say about Mr. Stretch Armstrong and Mix Vac-Man. Yeah, that's right. Vac-Man was their legal name, but actually they're non-binary. So there you go. You learned something today. Look it up. It's on Stretchopedia. Thanks for listening to Fix My Carcast, hosted by Bear Claw Billy. As always, throw some money at the link, throw some patron at the Patreon, and you can decide what goofy bullshit I'm doing tomorrow. Wait, no you can't. Tomorrow's topic is already taken. It's a good one. And as always, give me a minute. Nope. Give me a lifetime.